All right, Raider fans, buckle up because we're diving deep into the latest on our Las Vegas Raiders. And this one is going to be intense. The season has already thrown a few curveballs, and if you've been paying attention, you know we are far from out of the woods. Pete Carroll didn't expect the kind of rough start we've had, and neither did the fans. 1-4 isn't where we wanted to be, but this week brings a huge opportunity, a game that could set the tone for the rest of the season. Heading into Indianapolis, the Raiders are going to need everything they've got. And I mean every piece of talent, every ounce of focus, and every play executed to perfection. This is the kind of matchup where one misstep can turn the game upside down, but one brilliant performance can flip the narrative entirely. Let's start with the quarterback position because, honestly, that's where everything begins. Geno Smith has to be turnover-free. No exceptions. The Raiders have seen what happens when a ball slips away or when a forced throw gets picked off. It's the difference between being 3-1 or 1-3. Geno wants to push the ball, he wants to make plays downfield, and that's great in theory. But the numbers tell a story. When he tries to force the ball into tight coverage, it costs the team. The Colts' defense isn't going to give away easy completions, and every mistake will be magnified. Smith has to manage the game smartly, protect the football, and set the foundation for the offense to build momentum. Now, moving to the offensive playmakers, Ashton Gentry is someone I want to highlight. Last week, he showed exactly why he's a weapon. With over 150 total yards and 3 touchdowns, he was unstoppable. Through the air, he caught 2 passes for 17 yards and 2 touchdowns, while averaging over 6 yards per carry on the ground. Momentum like that doesn't come by accident, and the Raiders need to ride that wave. The Colts' defense is tough, no doubt, but if the coaches want to win, Gentry has to be a central part of the game plan. 20 touches, at least, is the minimum if you want to give yourself a real shot. Letting someone like him dominate the game could be the difference between scraping by and making a statement. Jack Bash also deserves attention. This season, he's had limited snaps, but the efficiency is there. Compared to Dante Thornton Jr., who's had most of the volume, Bash is making plays when given the opportunity. His separation is better, his blocking is stronger, and from a run game standpoint, he's more effective in limited reps. The Raiders need fresh legs and reliable options, and Bash could be that secret weapon. In games like this, especially on the road, you need multiple players stepping up, not just the names we're used to seeing in the highlights. He's shown that he can do it. Now the coaching staff has to trust him more and get him involved. And speaking of trust, Brock Bowers needs to see the ball more than ever. Injuries or not, he's one of the best at creating separation at the tight end position, and the numbers don't lie. The Raiders can't afford to underutilize him when he's capable of dominating matchups. Whether lining up at wide receiver or in a 2 tight end set, his presence changes the dynamic of the offense. Every time he touches the ball, there's a chance for a big play. And let's be clear, in this matchup against Indianapolis, the opportunity for big plays is exactly what the Raiders need. It's not about trying anymore. It's about executing. Bowers has to be a focal point, 10 targets minimum, no excuses. On the offensive line, adjustments are inevitable. Colton Miller has been a rock at left tackle for the Colts, and replacing him with a backup will be a test of both strategy and physicality. The Raiders need to push, create lanes, and give their quarterback and playmakers room to operate. Using more 12 personnel, adding versatility with 2 tight ends, and maximizing the strengths of players like Michael Mayer and Ian Thomas will be critical. The offense has to be cohesive, physical, and relentless. Every block, every route, every handoff needs to be precise. Defensively, this is where things get interesting. Limiting big plays is key. Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor are capable of explosive moments, and if the Raiders let them get loose, it could be a long afternoon. Stacking the box against Taylor, using safeties near the line, and leveraging versatile players like Jamal Adams and Isaiah Palco is essential. Physicality is non-negotiable. Every lineman, every linebacker, every cornerback has to bring intensity, because one lapse, one missed tackle, and the Colts can turn a manageable game into a blowout. Max Crosby's presence on the field is invaluable. His performance last week was phenomenal, even if the result didn't go the Raiders' way. But this isn't about just relying on Crosby. The team needs contributions across the board. Terry Wilson, Thomas Booker, Adam Butler, all these guys have to step up. Rotation matters, keeping legs fresh, maintaining pressure, and forcing mistakes. The defensive line has to be a wall, the secondary has to make plays, and everyone needs to understand the stakes. Limiting the Colts' explosive plays isn't easy. They lead the NFL in plays over 40 yards and average over 6.5 yards per play. That's a formidable challenge. But with discipline, strategy, and the right matchups, the Raiders can turn that threat into a manageable puzzle. Pressure the quarterback, contain Taylor, and force Indianapolis to methodically move the ball. Make them work for every yard, every first down, every point. This game isn't just another week on the schedule. It's a defining moment for the Raiders' culture, their identity, and the players themselves. Geno Smith's leadership will be tested, Pete Carroll's coaching decisions will be under scrutiny, and every player on that field has to show that they belong. It's the kind of game where history is written not by luck, but by execution, resilience, and heart. Raider Nation has always been reliable, loud, and passionate, and this week will be no different. The energy, the focus, and the support from the fans will be a crucial factor. On the field, execution has to match the intensity off the field. Every route, every read, every tackle, every block has to align with the game plan. There's no room for hesitation. Every possession counts, every yard counts, every second counts. The stakes are high, the challenges are real, and the opportunity is massive. The Raiders are walking into a game that will test them in every aspect, but it's also the kind of game where heroes emerge and legends are made. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching, and the fans, all pieces of the same puzzle, need to click for the Raiders to take control, and there's no better time than now to show what this team is made of. This week, the Raiders have a chance to define themselves, to set a tone for the rest of the season, and to prove that they can rise to the occasion when it matters most. Now, turning our focus deeper into the defensive side, this game against Indianapolis is going to be a true test of mental and physical toughness. The Raiders cannot afford any lapses, especially when it comes to Jonathan Taylor. He's more than just a runner. He's the heartbeat of that offense. Stacking the box is the obvious choice, but it's not just about numbers at the line. It's about anticipation, discipline, and reacting to his moves instantly. The Raiders' safeties need to play closer to the line, disrupting timing and cutting off those quick-hitting runs that can open up the playbook for the Colts. Every linebacker, every defensive tackle must be aggressive but smart, closing gaps without overcommitting, because Taylor thrives when you leave even the smallest crease. Daniel Jones adds another layer of complexity. He's not just a pocket passer. He can scramble, extend plays, and punish a defense that hesitates. Containing him is as much about speed as it is about intelligence. Malcolm Kuhn and Terry Wilson have to read his intentions and react before he even has the chance to think. Pressuring him consistently is non-negotiable, but it's also a chess match. If Jones senses panic or misalignment, he'll exploit it in a heartbeat. That's why rotations matter. The Raiders can't rely on just one player or one unit. They need depth, versatility, and energy on every snap. Fresh legs and consistent pressure can wear down even a quarterback who's calm under fire. Max Crosby's role can't be overstated. He's been flying all over the field, changing plays, collapsing pockets, and creating chaos. But one man can't do it alone. The Raiders need complementary performances from the defensive line and secondary. Players like Thomas Booker and Adam Butler have to step up, rotate effectively, and make sure that the opponent doesn't find rhythm. Malcolm Kuhn has to stay active and disciplined, while Terry Wilson, who's been improving steadily, must continue his growth and provide the balance between pass rush and run defense. It's about creating layers of pressure, not relying on heroics. The Colts have big play potential all over the field, so containment has to be methodical, calculated, and relentless. Big plays are what can kill a defense in a heartbeat, and limiting them is priority number one. When Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor get loose, it's not just yards. It's momentum, confidence, and game flow. The Raiders have to be in perfect position, communicate flawlessly, and execute every tackle without hesitation. It's about suffocating opportunities, making the Colts earn every inch, and turning what could be explosive plays into minor gains. That requires discipline from the defensive backs, sharp recognition from the linebackers, and precision from the linemen. This game demands focus, and any slip-up could result in a momentum swing that's hard to recover from. Physicality has to be a theme on every down. Michael Pittman Jr. might be dealing with a hamstring issue, but the Raiders need to challenge him every step of the way. Press coverage, jamming at the line, and staying attached through routes can force him into tough throws and rush decisions. Even a slight nudge at the right moment can disrupt timing, which could be the difference between a first down and a punt. The defense has to take advantage of every weakness, exploit every edge, and never give the Colts room to breathe. Repetition, intensity, and calculated aggression will define how well this game unfolds for the Raiders. On the offensive side, while the defensive strategy is critical, execution must continue to build momentum. Ashton Gentry's touches have to stay high. His versatility as both a runner and receiver allows the Raiders to stretch the defense horizontally and vertically. The more defenses try to focus on him, the more opportunities open for other players. Jack Bash, with his improved separation and effective blocking, is another weapon that has to be leveraged. The Raiders need multiple threats, which forces the Colts into uncomfortable adjustments mid-game, creating windows for big plays. Brock Bowers, as we mentioned earlier, is the X factor. His ability to line up in different positions, create mismatches, and secure the football makes him indispensable. 10 targets at least, no question. The offense needs to flow through him. The offensive line will play a pivotal role in this game as well. With Colton Miller out for the Colts, there's a chance to exploit matchups, but it's not guaranteed. The Raiders must maintain discipline in pass protection, find running lanes, and sustain drives. 12 personnel sets, using 2 tight ends, will give extra support for blocking while also keeping the defense guessing. The right combinations of personnel, motion, and creative play design will be the key to controlling the tempo. If the Raiders can sustain drives, keep Jones off the field, and stay efficient in the red zone, it sets up a perfect storm for success. Turnovers remain a huge factor. Protecting the ball, avoiding forced throws, and maintaining focus during high-pressure moments is crucial. Every interception or fumble could swing the game instantly. Geno Smith has to manage the risk-reward balance and lead the offense with poise. With reliable weapons in Gentry, Bowers, and others, the Raiders can sustain drives and put themselves in position to capitalize on mistakes from the Colts. Smart decision-making, patience, and calculated aggression will define the game. Defensively, rotation and energy management are essential. Keeping players fresh while maintaining intensity allows the Raiders to exploit weaknesses late in the game. Every defensive lineman, linebacker, and a secondary player needs to understand the game plan and adapt on the fly. Communication between players is critical. One missed signal or misread could result in a breakdown. The Raiders need cohesion, discipline, and trust across every unit to prevent big plays and control the pace of the game. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are already rippling through the NFL corridors. Derrick Henry, the titan of the Tennessee backfield, could be donning silver and black. Sources close to the Raiders hint at a seismic shift in the team's offensive strategy, and at the heart of it is none other than the bruising, unstoppable running back who has terrorized defenses across the league for years. The chatter suggests the Raiders are ready to reshape their ground game around Henry, potentially giving their aerial attack a new rhythm while turning the running game into a weapon of pure domination. Henry, known for his combination of size, speed, and sheer determination, has left defenders grasping at air and helmets in futile attempts to bring him down. The speculation around Las Vegas is that the Raiders see him not just as a rusher, but as a symbol of identity, a player capable of redefining their offense. Imagine the thunderous runs through the middle of the line, the relentless clock control, the late-game dominance that only a player of Henry's caliber can bring. NFL analysts and insiders have been buzzing about how his presence could transform not only the running game, but the way opposing defenses approach the entire Raiders offense. Fans, of course, are already igniting social media with excitement. What would it mean for a Raiders team historically known for high-flying passing plays? Could Henry bring a physical, punishing edge to a squad that's been searching for a true offensive anchor? The mere idea of his imposing frame charging down the field in black and silver has sent imaginations into overdrive. Coaches are reportedly evaluating not just plays, but entire offensive schemes with the prospect of Henry's addition, pondering how to maximize every yard of his unique talent. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the rumor mill shows no signs of slowing. Derrick Henry in Las Vegas isn't just a tantalizing fantasy. It could be the dawn of a new era for the Raiders, one built on power, precision, and the kind of relentless running game that leaves fans cheering and defenses scrambling. Stay tuned. If this whispers turns into reality, the NFL might just be in for a seismic shakeup. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.